Hi everyone, Ashlyn Gives a YouTube channel. Today we are going to talk about relapsing. I have a ex who recently relapsed, and it's a very, very, very sad story because he's a very good man, really good-hearted, great dad, but unfortunately he chose to pick up the drink and drink. And so once he picks up one drink, then it turns into like six drinks, and then before you know it, it's a whole 30 pack of beer or just a shit ton of alcohol. So he just has relapsed again, and that's kind of how it is with relapsing. You could have triggers, and like one little bad thing can happen in your life, like work could be going wrong, or your relationship status or issues could be happening to you, and you could just be feeling lonely and stuff like that, and then boom, you just turn to your drug of choice or alcohol, which is what he chooses, and then just start going right back at it. And he's been saying like really weird things, like just like telling me that he's been hearing things and seeing things, and like asking me different questions, like if he's an animal, or and what kind of animal is he, and all kinds of things. And I guess it got so bad that he got kind of delusional, and just ended up in going to the hospital, in the psych unit. And he has been in and out of it there about probably, oh, I don't know, like maybe five times. And I've had to call the cops on him a couple times to do a welfare check on him, because he has told me multiple times that he is suicidal, and so, or wants to die, and different things like that. And so of course, I take that stuff seriously. So I called the police, or called for like the hospital and doctors and different people, different hotlines and for suicide and stuff, so that way he could get help. I also even gave him numbers before, and he did call the number before, and they hauled him off to the hospital. He recently called it and told him that he wanted to die, so they hauled him right in. But the bad thing is about those hospitals, at least here in Iowa, is they don't keep people for long enough. They only hold you for a couple days, and then they let you go. And um, it's really annoying because he he's been admitting to me that he's lying to the doctors, and he's not telling them things that he's telling me, or things that he's telling his brother or his mom. So it's been really, really hard on the family, and especially the kids, because they love him and they miss him and they want to see him, but obviously they can't in these dangerous circumstances. He um, isn't thinking clearly. He's drinking and stuff like that. That's obviously not a stable environment for children. He also has been not cleaning his house. So he hasn't been working. He hasn't been cleaning his house. My uh, husband went over there to get some of our children's stuff, my children's stuff, and he found him like crawling around on the ground. And so I think that's another time that we called and had him checked, to go get help, and have like the cops or someone go over there to talk to him and make sure that he was okay. So that's what's been going on with him. Like he's been like just doing really odd things like that. And one time we had to make sure that he was okay before we went to sleep, because one time he was drinking, and he like so much that he could barely do anything, and he decided to try to fry something on the stove. So we had to wait and make sure that he was okay and that the stove was off, before we, ended contact with him for the night, because he could have died, and his house could have caught on fire, and it could have caught the next door neighbor's house on fire and everything. He recently, like just a week or two ago, drove his car drunk and got it impounded. And he now lost his license. So, like I said, he lost his license. He's not working. He's not cleaning his house. He's not really cleaning himself or taking care of himself. And he's not taking care of his daughter. So, there's a lot of stuff going on right now with that man. I don't know exactly what's the deep purpose for the reason why he's doing this, but I do know, like, I obviously know, obviously, that he's mentally ill. So that's one reason why he is doing it. But I feel that something happened to him recently that triggered this. That something really, really did happen that triggered him to go off like this because my ex-husband, which is who I'm talking about, has relapsed multiple times, but he has never relapsed this bad. He has been like telling me that he has been fighting with the devil. He's cuddling with demons. That he's um, allowed the devil to have his soul and different weird demonic things like that. So it's just like he's fighting a physical battle, a mental battle, and a spiritual battle all in one. And he's not getting any better. So I have been trying to keep in contact with him. I have been answering my phone. And sometimes me and my husband will go over there to make sure he's okay, just because you never know what somebody's going to do. But we're always, making sure that we're safe and we're cautious because we don't know what he could do. So obviously we don't let the kids go over there by themselves. We haven't let the kids stay the night with him or be around him, obviously. And so I've taken custody away from him for the kids, because as far as the kids, I mean, because of obvious reasons. So when people relapse, it's really, really hard. It's something that is really annoying, and just it's disappointing, because when they do get better and they seem like they're doing good, it just sucks to see them start doing bad all over again. So yeah, let's hope and pray and send good luck his way, because he does have a daughter who's only 13 years old that still needs him around and needs to be taken care of her too. But that's probably, even if he gets better and well, I'm probably not gonna be able to let him have the visitations that he was having before, which was she was staying the night with me one week, and then she was staying the night with her dad the next week, for a whole week. And but now that I know that he is not doing good and has been doing all that stuff and saying all that stuff, I don't trust him at all, because he was like telling me visions about his daughter too, about how he could see that she was going to die and drowned in an ocean and stuff like that. And when he was in the mental hospital, they diagnosed him with schizophrenia, like a trait of schizophrenia. Now, there's a spectrum of schizophrenia going from really severe to not so severe, and he's kind of on the not so severe side, but still, somebody having schizophrenia is a very, very serious mental illness that you don't want to mess with. And I just read an article on Facebook talking about a lady who just had a mental crisis, and she thought everybody was going to kill her and her children, and everybody in this world was in on it. And so she took her kids, drove them into a forest, thought that she would hide herself and her kids there so no one would kill them. And then they end up dying anyways, because they died of hypothermia, which is like the being frozen. And one of them lived because they got out of the car and walked to somebody's house and told the person, whoever it was they told, that her mom and her family was dead in the car. So they got the little girl to a safe place, and ended up, she ended up telling the whole story and stuff like that. So, you know, everyone was trying to get that lady mental help, and she wasn't willing and she wasn't listening. Now, since I already know that my ex is not doing good mentally, I obviously am going to have the common sense to keep my kids away from him so he's not doing something like that lady did. Because you never know what's going through people's minds. And having schizophrenia, you can like uh, hallucinate or, come up with random thoughts out of the blue. So all this is very scary, but I thought I would share my story with you guys and talk about relapsing because it's a very, very difficult and hard thing to deal with. But that's all I have to say. Just keep hope, keep faith, answer your phone to them no matter how annoying it is. Make sure you call and get them help when they need it, even if they refuse it and they're saying no, because you don't know if they're actually going to pull through with what they say. So I thought I would share my story with you guys, but I'm kind of getting short of breath. I think I'm like short of breath from this progesterone, from being pregnant and everything. So it's kind of making me out of breath. Plus, I have asthma and whatnot, and I'm kind of talking fast. But it's a very hard subject. I'm hoping and praying that he can pull himself together. He's done it before. I know he can do it again, but it's all about the person wanting to get better. It's about them wanting to get help. If they don't want to, the help's not going to be there. They have to want the help. So, if you're going through this, I'm very sorry. I can relate. If you guys have any questions or need to talk or want to share your story, you can comment. But I will be on with another life topic. Thank you.